Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Science Fell in Love, and I tried to prove it. So we get the aftermath of what happened last week, and we get Kanade's experience of why she was so close to her high school teacher. And Yukimura, damn, I didn't know this show would get serious, but this show got serious at the end. This man, Yukimura, he was like, bitch, please. That sounds like a great story, but you keep talking about this normal stuff. What the fudge do you mean by normal? What's your definition of normal? We'll get into that in a second. That I'm like, God dang. I'm like, my goodness. We get the backstory of we get the backstory of Kanade and why, she's seemingly in love with her sensei from high school, but she kind of fell out of that, or the reason why she gets all scared when people look at her and everything and stuff like that. And then it's seemingly enough, like we'll start the episode. Well, actually, no. And Ibarada, I'm guessing she's showing her true feelings for Kousuke. And the author, that manga author girl, she's starting to bring it out of her, and seems like we might be getting a fight for Kousuke going on here. So things are definitely heating up this season, and they're getting spicy. So we start the episode off with Yukimura and Himuro, and they're essentially talking, and Himuro's just saying, listen, Yukimura, I think we need to talk to Kanade about what happened, the other day about the whole date and everything, because she did not look happy at all. She literally walked off, and and she wasn't happy. And obviously Yukimura's like, I don't really care about that stuff. It's kind of her business, so that's what it is. And they kind of get mad at each other because they're like, you clearly don't care about a friend. You don't understand, what she might be going through. You don't understand, like, essentially telling him, like, can you be real for once and not, like, involve science? Like, look out for your friend and everything. So, yeah. And then we cut into the Ibarada stuff. Pretty much we'll just skip over that. It's just kind of the thing. It looks like this manga author is very interested and probably has feelings for Kousuke, but at the same time, Ibarada, we kind of know that she has feelings for Kousuke too. And they have a talk at the end where she's giving some like weird looks. She's giving a look like, is she gonna do something that she's gonna try to take advantage? And she says some words in the meaning of that. And Ibarada's like, I don't know what you're trying to say, but this isn't funny. I don't like what you're trying to say. And obviously the author is like, oh, are you saying this because you're jealous? Do I sense a hit of jealousy? Does that mean Kousuke means Kousuke means a lot more to you than I thought he did? And obviously Ibarada is like, please, it's not like that. So I just want you to stay away from him like that. So she walks off, and the manga girl is like, I got some ideas. And I'm like, okay, it seems like we're getting this storyline's been going on for this season. The fact that, who's between these two, who's going to confess that they like each other? Is it Ibarada or Kousuke going to confess? Kousuke doesn't believe it, and they add up the whole thing of like, also to, Kousuke from his reflection from the thing he did on that group date from last week. Yeah, of course, everybody would look at you all weird, like, bro, why is this guy acting like this with a doll and everything? So, that was freaking hilarious. But it seemed like we could be having a fight over Kousuke between this manga girl and Ibarada. Obviously, Ibarada is gonna win the battle, but it's gonna be very interesting to see how she's going to win it. And it seems like this manga girl's got something up her sleeve to try to, I don't know, get Kousuke for herself. So be very interesting. But we cut over to the Kanade stuff, and Himuro and Kanade, I guess you could say Himuro, she says I love you to Kanade and says all these things and everything, and Kanade eventually breaks it down of Himuro. Essentially, she realizes that Himuro is worried about her, and Yukimura that ends up coming in after overhearing them, because Kanade's like, okay, I'll tell you everything that happened, and Yukimura's like, okay, I'd like to hear too, pretty much, and stuff like that. So we get the backstory to Kanade's time with her high school teacher. Now, Yes, high school teacher and student potentially dating or going out. It is pretty much a taboo, but Kanade always makes the mention how her family runs a pretty much a martial arts dojo, and that she's was trained in it so she can protect herself from guys that would like to probably do things because she's a very attractive girl. And if you know what I'm talking about, I won't specify it, but it involves forcing a man forcing themselves upon a girl. So yeah, and she was trained to defend herself and stuff like that. At the same time, she also wants to fall in love. And the thing is, her first crush, her first person she fell in love with was her high school teacher, the guy we saw last week, and everything. And like one day after school, she asks, like, she tells her teacher, like, "Hey, I'm in love with you. Can you go out with me?" And the teacher's like, wow, I'm very flattered, but you see, I'm a teacher and you're my student, and that's not cool. I'm sorry, I can't do that. So yeah, but the thing is, they end up spending more time together because she starts to study and and gets to do better in her grades and everything. And then they made this whole thing of this whole promises where Kanade is like, well, if I get a B in this class, you have to take me out on a date. And Kanade ends up getting this B in class, and they end up going on a date. It seems like they go on a date. They're having nice picnic fun. It looks like they're having fun and everything together. I'm like, so what's gonna go wrong here? I'm like, does like maybe a student from their class see them on a date, or does like a school board member see them out on a date together? And they press the teacher like, hey, why are you going out on a date with one of the students? I'm like, what are you hanging out with the students in your personal time and stuff like that? Because of it, you lose your job and stuff like that, since you guys are dating and everything, apparently. And maybe that's why Kanade feels like that. But no, what happens is, they're kind of just running together and everything. And then he ends up tripping over a rock, and he looks like he's about to fall on top of Kanade. But Kanade, out of instinct, because she was told to protect herself if a guy tries to force herself on her, she grabs her arm, freaking just throws him down on the ground. Then kind of injures him a bit. And she's just all shocked. She's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And stuff like that. All of a sudden, everybody's just in this group at the park is looking at them and like, whoa, what the heck this girl do? And she looks up, and they look like they're all fleeting eyes, then blaming her and everything and stuff like that. And that's kind of where the backstory ends. And she kind of just didn't see or hang out with the teacher again on like another date or something like that. And at the same time, we come back to the present, and Kanade is just wondering, like, I just want to be a normal girl for once. I don't want to have all this other stuff and everything. I just want to be normal. And you would think, oh, Yukimura and Himura would comfort her. Now, Himura kind of comforts her in a way, but Yukimura, he's just like not in about it. He straight up asked the right question. He straight up asked the freaking fiery questions to Kanade. He's like, okay, Kanade, you say about this normal topic, and you're always bringing up being normal for once. What exactly is your definition? What is your meaning of being normal? Like, what is the meaning for you personally? What is the meaning of being normal? Because you being normal might be my different way of being normal. Pretty much is what he's trying to say. He's like, and that's the whole thing and everything. And Kanade freaks out and starts yelling back at him, and she is expressing her views and everything. And Yukimura is, as he's walking off, he's like, well then, you need to find, pretty much he tells her, like, you need to find out what being normal is. Otherwise, if that's your view of it, then your view of it isn't going to take you anywhere. It's just going to leave you in the same place, same position you currently are stuck at right now when it comes to being normal, and stuff like that. So I think Yukimura gave Kanade some tough love there. Himuro definitely did not like what Yukimura said, but honestly, it's kind of a good point Yukimura made. Like, he's telling Kanade, well, you have these fears, and you discuss and you talk about wanting to be normal. What exactly is your definition of normal? Like, it honestly makes sense, and it's one of those kind of open-ended questions where it's just like it's kind of onto your own partition, your own judgment of what you think normal is. Like my version of normality, normal being normal, might be different than maybe somebody else's version of normal. Somebody else's version of normal could be, oh, my normal thing is just being myself. While some person's normal, other person's normal could be like, he's just a standard guy or girl that just goes about life doing what he needs to do, and stuff like that. That's what normality is. So it seems like Kanade is going to have to do some deep diving into herself and look into the fact is, what's her purpose? What's her reasoning of normal? Like, she might have a different normal, and I think Yukimura is trying to say, like, listen, we all have different normals. There really is no true definition of being normal. You're normal, in your own eyes. If you feel like you're normal for this, then live that life. That's your that's your normal and stuff like that. Because she makes a mention, like, even when it comes to them, the fact that they're like, oh, you guys are not normal and stuff like that. And it's very interesting to see where the story's going to go. I'm very intrigued, and then episode ends off. I'm like, the last few episodes, I'm not gonna lie, they've been giving me some cliffhangers that I'm not looking. I'm like, dude, I'm craving the next week's episode. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Kanade's gonna have to find this reasoning of what's normal to her. I'm very invested in this Kanade storyline. That's just me. Holy shit, I didn't think Yukimura would get freaking fired. I didn't know we would be getting spicy in terms of like what we're getting here in terms of like seriousness. But I'm like, this is supposed to be a lighthearted show. My goodness, I'm like, Yukimura is holding Kanade's feet to the fire. I'm like, damn, what the? I'm like, I gotta give credit. That was kind of a good speech by Yukimura. Even though it did come across a little bit kind of him being a jerk. I understand what Yukimura is trying to say. He's giving her, I guess you could say, that tough love in a way. So it's very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. It's also gonna be very interesting if maybe she leaves that one dude and she's a college student, so I guess you can say it's cool for a college student and a teacher, especially if it's a high school teacher, to potentially hook up and be a relationship. Personally, I see no issue with that. As long as that's like kept private and personal and everything, more than welcome. So we don't know, maybe Kanade goes back to the high school and asks the teacher out on a date and everything, and they start dating for reals, and she says, no, I love you and everything. And she tells that one guy, I'm sorry, I think you're a nice guy, just like somebody else right now. So maybe we get that at the end of the season. I don't know, but I'm gonna be very interested to see where the season goes. Another solid episode of Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. And yeah, but anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Anyways, I'm gonna get over, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night or checking out this video. Until then, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Science Fell in Love content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get over. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night or checking this video. Until then, guys, peace.